Hi, my name's Ash. I'm a birth coach and personal trainer, and today we're going to be talking about 3 different types of perineal dilators. So a perineal dilator is a balloon used to birth train, and if you want more information on this, I've already released a video on perineal dilators. You can watch that one. So currently there are only 2 different types of perineal dilators on the global market. That is the EPI-no, which is a German design made by a German gynecologist around 20 years ago. It looks like this, and it has a 2 balloon device with a pressure gauge and a hand pump bulb. And then there's another design which is made in I think it's the Czech Republic, which is the aniball. And it has a similar design, but it differs just slightly because the device looks like this. So the balloon at the top is slightly bigger. With these 2 types of devices, the top part of the balloons go into the birth canal, and then these just sit, this band here and this band here sits at the opening. And basically, when you inflate the balloons, they are designed to stretch the perineum, which is the connective tissue between the birth canal and the rectum, so that you can feel the stretch like what you would feel when your baby is crowning and being birthed. Basically, I found both of these devices really difficult to insert, so I ended up having my own design created, which is this one here. So this is how it sort of differs. I had handles added to be able to control the balloon a little bit better, but basically mine gets inserted completely all the way. These 2 designs were created like this so that they didn't touch the cervix, and the cervix is that little donut that sits between the uterus and the outside world. With my design, the tip is extra thick, so when the balloon is inflated, only really this circumference here, or this area here, inflates. So if it is touching the cervix, it's actually not expanding and disrupting it, and it's also easier to insert because it's more of a natural sort of thing, if you get my drift. So this is why I had mine designed, but basically you can go online and you can purchase these anywhere unless you are in the States and Canada. They were originally sold a number of years ago, I believe, but they were pulled for some reason. I'm not sure if it was for cost with FDA and Canada Medical. I believe that could have been the case. So if you're there in the Americas, you unfortunately can't purchase them unless you know somebody in Australia or the UK or New Zealand who can purchase them and send them over. But with myself, I didn't actually use either of these devices in my own birth. I went to an adult store. I bought an anal balloon, which is a completely black design, and I ended up using that, sending it to a manufacturer, getting it modified, changed, color changed, improved, used it in my first birth, got some feedback, went and got it changed at the manufacturers, used it in my second birth, got some more feedback, changed it, and then ended up with this particular design for my 3rd birth. So I myself have had 3 natural births by using this design so that I didn't have any damage to my pelvic floor or to my perineum. And they were great. I basically went in, birthed my babies, and then came out pretty much straight away. I chose to go in and have a hospital birth because I know while it's quite popular for women to birth at home, if I was going to end up mass producing and manufacturing this type of device, I wanted to know how effective it was going to be if a woman was choosing to have a hospital birth, and what it was going to look like having support in the hospital system. So my belief is, as a personal trainer, it's important to become empowered through knowledge and experience, and to have, to prioritize your health and fitness. That doesn't mean not having medical support and help. That means working with medical professionals to be able to have an empowered birth experience, but allowing me to be able to take control of my birth. And if I need medical help and support, I have them there to be able to do that. So this is why I went and had this device created. But if you are concerned about birthing, consider using a birth trainer in your birth, because it's going to allow you to get strong in your pelvic floor, the muscle band that connects and holds up your bladder, your birth organs, and your rectum, and to give you the ability to simulate birth in a safe and relaxing way, so that when you do go into active labor, you have that mind and body connection and you understand how to birth effectively as well as safely, so that you can prevent, organ prolapse, you can prevent bladder incontinence or fecal incontinence. And it's not saying that those things won't happen through medical intervention or incorrect techniques such as pushing, but it's going to reduce your chances of having those complications. It's no different to you going and, sitting with a driving instructor and having them instruct you on driving. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have a crash. It just means that you are better educated, you understand how to be a safer driver. And this is the same thing too. We want to be a safer birther, so that we can go and have a second birth, a third birth if we choose to. And we also don't have, our sexual health compromised, so that we enjoy intimacy and that we don't have any medical complications from any trauma that may arise to our body as well.